Welcome to my channel USA Old Coins. If you've ever wondered if those old coins you have lying around could be worth a fortune, you're in the right place. In today's video, we're diving into some of the rarest US coins, revealing their jaw-dropping values that will leave you amazed. Stick with us till the end, you won't want to miss what these hidden treasures could be worth. Let's get started. Top 1. Imagine holding a simple-looking coin that has the potential to completely transform your financial life. What if I told you that one such coin might be hiding in your collection or pocket change right now? Welcome to today's deep dive into the fascinating world of American coinage, where we unravel the mystery and hidden value of the 1967 Washington quarter dollar. The United States has produced billions of quarters over the years, and yet, among all of them, a few rare editions shine brighter than the rest. These coins are not just metal discs, they are miniature time capsules, windows into history, and sometimes, hidden treasures. The Washington Quarter series began back in 1932, created to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. The design was intended to be temporary, but its popularity ensured it became a lasting feature of American currency. Now, fast forward to 1967. This was a year of immense social, political, and cultural change in the United States. The Vietnam War was escalating, the civil rights movement was in full swing, and American society was evolving rapidly. Amidst all this, a small coin was minted, the Washington quarter. At first glance, the 1967 Washington quarter might not seem like much. It has no mint mark, it's made of a copper nickel clad rather than silver, and over 1.5 billion of them were produced. So, what could possibly make it special? That's exactly what we're going to explore today. Let's begin with the design. On the obverse side of the quarter, we see the iconic profile of George Washington. His stern yet calm expression has remained virtually unchanged since 1932. It's a symbol of stability and strength, and in 1967, that was more relevant than ever. On the reverse side, the familiar image of the bald eagle perches proudly, wings spread, clutching arrows, and an olive branch beneath it. The symbolism is clear: peace and strength, foundational ideals of the United States. But the 1967 quarter was different from its earlier versions in more ways than just the lack of a mint mark. For one, it was struck during a unique period in U.S. coinage history, when the U.S. Mint suspended mint marks on coins from 1965 to 1967. This was done to prevent coin hoarding during a nationwide silver shortage. Prior to 1965, quarters were made of 90% silver. But starting in 1965, the mint shifted to a copper-nickel-clad composition. The 1967 quarter is part of this clad generation, which on the surface makes it seem far less valuable than its silver predecessors. However, hidden within this massive production run of 1967 quarters are a few special pieces that collectors would give anything to own. Some were struck in error, others have rare features, and a select few exist in pristine, untouched condition. Collectors are always on the lookout for what's known as a high-grade coin, one that has been preserved almost perfectly since it was minted. And among 1967 quarters, finding one in such perfect condition is like finding a needle in a haystack. Why? Because these coins were never released in special proof sets that year. Instead, the mint produced special SMS or special mint sets, which were struck with better than normal quality, but not quite to the level of proof coins. Even within these SMS coins, the quality varies. A coin graded MS-67 or MS-68 from 1967 is extraordinarily rare. The surfaces, luster, and strike all must be nearly flawless to achieve this high grade. And it's these ultra-high-grade coins that drive collectors into bidding wars. But there's more. Some 1967 quarters have been found with remarkable mint errors. Double die obverse, off-center strikes, and misaligned dies all add to the appeal and potential value of these coins. These mint errors are rare, and each one tells a unique story. Now let's talk about how these coins are evaluated. Grading is a meticulous process performed by professional services like PCGS and NGC. Coins are examined under magnification, graded on a 70-point scale, and then encapsulated to preserve their condition. The grading scale is crucial because a 1967 quarter in average circulated condition is usually worth just face value, 25 cents. But a coin graded MS67 or higher? That's where things get exciting. That's where serious money enters the conversation. Over the years, a few 1967 quarters have come to light that are so pristine, so perfect, that they've shocked even the most experienced collectors. These coins are the crown jewels of any collection and are fiercely pursued at auctions. Imagine finding a quarter that not only survived decades without a scratch but was also struck with such precision that it appears untouched by time. That is the kind of coin that stirs excitement in the numismatic world. Some of the most valuable 1967 quarters are those that were part of the special mint sets, yet exhibit deep cameo contrast, a stark difference in texture between the frosted design and the mirror-like background. These are extremely hard to find. Then there are the ultra-rare varieties, like the 1967 quarters with a full strike on Washington's hair or the eagle's feathers. These minor details make a major difference in value. And let's not forget the human stories behind these coins. Many collectors report discovering valuable coins in old coffee cans, inherited coin jars, or even in their childhood piggy banks. It's an unexpected thrill that never gets old. Of coin shows and auctions across the United States regularly feature Washington quarters, but only a few have the honor of stealing the spotlight. The 1967 Washington quarter is one such coin, but only when it meets very specific criteria. Demand is increasing as more collectors enter the hobby, particularly those hunting for key dates and high grades. And the 1967 quarter, though common in circulation, is becoming increasingly scarce in top condition. Prices for these elite specimens continue to rise, especially for coins with a certified high grade and an attractive appearance. The combination of rarity, historical importance, and collector demand creates the perfect storm. Many beginner collectors dismiss the 1967 quarter as just another clad coin. But seasoned collectors know the truth. The right specimen can be worth far more than anyone might imagine. So, if you have a jar of quarters lying around, or if you enjoy coin roll hunting, it might be time to take a closer look. The date 1967 might just surprise you. Check for sharp details, strong strikes, and clean surfaces. Look at Washington's hair and the eagle's wings. And if possible, submit your best finds for professional grading. You never know what treasure you might be holding. Coins are more than just currency. They are history, art, and stories wrapped in metal. And sometimes, they are worth far more than face value. Much more. And finally, the most jaw-dropping fact of all, one such pristine, ultra-rare 1967 Washington quarter dollar, certified at the highest possible level, has sold for an astounding $184,000. Top 2. In a world full of pocket change, we often overlook the coins that pass through our hands each day. They clink in our wallets, drop into vending machines, and vanish into the bottoms of drawers. But every now and then, one of those ordinary coins carries an extraordinary secret. Today, we're going to dive deep into the story of the 1971 Washington quarter dollar, a coin so familiar, yet hiding a world of mystery, history, and unexpected value. Whether you're a collector, a treasure hunter, or just someone curious about what makes a coin special, you're in the right place. The Washington quarter has a long and proud history. First introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, this coin has remained a staple of American currency for nearly a century. Why 1971? The Washington quarter had already been in circulation for almost 40 years. Most people didn't pay much attention to it, just another coin tossed in with the rest. But this year marked a significant chapter in its ongoing story. The 1971 quarter was part of the post-silver era, minted entirely without any silver content. In fact, since 1965, all quarters had switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition. It was a time of transition, both economically and politically, and these changes were reflected in the very coins we use daily, minted at two primary facilities, Philadelphia and Denver. The 1971 quarter is easily recognized by either the absence of a mint mark or a small D on the right side of Washington's ponytail. But within these billions of coins, a handful of anomalies emerged. While most 1971 quarters are worth no more than their face value, some rare examples have captured the attention of collectors worldwide. These special quarters possess qualities so unique that they've broken records at auctions. The average person may see just a scratched-up coin, but a trained eye can detect what others cannot: a sharp strike, flawless surfaces, or perhaps even a minting error. These are the hidden signs of serious value. One of the most exciting things about coin collecting is that treasure often lies in the most unexpected places. You don't need to travel to exotic lands or dig through ancient ruins. Sometimes, all it takes is a little curiosity and a handful of loose change. The 1971 quarter might not have silver, but it has something else: rarity in perfection. That's what drives up the price, not what it's made of, but how well it was made, how well it was preserved, and how few others like it exist. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale by professional services like PCGS and NGC. A coin graded MS-60 is uncirculated, but still has marks or dullness. Once you approach MS-67 and above, you're entering elite territory, where even the tiniest imperfection can affect the grade and the value. In 1971, there were no special proof sets made for quarters. Instead, the regular circulation strikes are all that exist, making high-grade coins from this year extremely hard to come by. That's why collectors go wild over the few that have survived in mint condition, but it's not just the condition that matters. Certain errors from 1971 have also made headlines. Some quarters were struck on the wrong planchets, like a dime planchet, making the coin smaller and lighter than normal. Others show dramatic doubling in the letters or numbers, known as a double die error. These errors can increase a coin's value exponentially. And because quality control wasn't perfect back in the day, a few of these error coins slipped through the cracks, into circulation, into collections, and eventually, into history books. Then there's the matter of full strike. On Washington quarters, collectors pay close attention to the detail in the hair and the eagle's wings. A coin with fully defined details is far more desirable than one with a weak or blurred strike. You might be wondering how so many of these coins got lost in the shuffle. The answer is simple: they were just too common. Millions of 1971 quarters were produced. But finding one in near-perfect condition today is anything but common. Most coins went straight into circulation, picked up wear and tear, and were forgotten. The rare few that were carefully stored, never used, and managed to avoid the damage of time, those are the coins that have become the stuff of legends. Imagine holding a coin that looks like it was minted yesterday, despite being over 50 years old. The luster, the sharp edges, the flawless surface, it's enough to make a seasoned collector's heart skip a beat. These coins are typically found in old collections, forgotten safe deposit boxes, or inherited estates. Sometimes, they pop up in coin roll hunts or at flea markets, where their true value remains hidden to the average person. The beauty of coin collecting, the thrill of the hunt. You never know what you might find. And once in a while, someone stumbles upon a piece that changes their life. Collectors have scoured the nation for high-grade 1971 quarters, and while many have turned up average examples, only a handful have achieved the highest grades known. These coins are the holy grail for those who truly know their value. Demand for high-grade Washington quarters continues to rise, especially as more collectors focus on completing registry sets. A single top pop coin can command an incredible premium due to its rarity and desirability. It's not just about money. It's about history, craftsmanship, and the chase. A coin is a piece of the past, passed down through countless hands, each one adding to its story. If you've got a jar of coins at home, it's worth digging through it. Look for 1971 quarters that shine brighter than the rest, with crisp details and minimal wear. They might look ordinary, but they could be anything but. Get them checked by a professional grading service. Even if it costs a little, the investment could be well worth it, especially if you're holding something truly rare. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. One particular 1971 Washington quarter dollar, preserved in nearly perfect condition, struck with incredible precision and brilliance, sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $146,000. Top 3. Coins are more than just pieces of metal used to buy things. Some are pieces of history, tiny time machines that carry stories of the past, hidden secrets, and sometimes, incredible value. Today, we're shining the spotlight on one such coin, the 1979 Washington quarter dollar. This coin might look just like the others you've seen in your spare change. But don't let appearances fool you. Hidden among the millions of 1979 quarters are a few special ones that have stunned collectors and auction houses alike. The story of the Washington quarter begins in 1932, when it was first released to commemorate the 200th birthday of America's first president. Since then, it has become a familiar face in American coinage, but each year, each mint, and each strike has its own personality. By 1979, America was heading into a new era. Inflation was rising, gas prices were soaring, and the country was in the middle of an economic transformation. In the world of coinage, things were also changing, but some things stayed consistent. One of those constants was the Washington quarter. In 1979, it was still struck with the same iconic design, George Washington on the obverse, and the majestic eagle on the reverse. A simple design, yet deeply symbolic, these quarters were produced in massive quantities at 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia mint coins have no mint mark, the Denver ones bear a D, and the San Francisco mint produced proof coins marked with an S. At first glance, the 1979 quarter seems like just another ordinary coin. Billions were made. Most people wouldn't even give it a second thought. But among those billions, a select few stand out for reasons that have nothing to do with how many were made. What sets a valuable coin apart from the rest isn't always obvious. It could be a rare minting error, a perfect strike, or the fact that it's been flawlessly preserved for decades. And that's exactly what makes the 1979 Washington quarter such a fascinating discovery for collectors. The composition of the 1979 quarter is a copper-nickel clad, no silver. So, unlike older pre-1965 quarters, its value doesn't come from precious metals. Its value comes from condition, scarcity and high grade, and certain key variations. One thing collectors always look for is a coin's condition. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, and anything above MS65, mint state, is considered high grade. Very few 1979 quarters have survived in mint state 67 or higher, and those that have are highly prized. Another area of interest is mint errors. The U.S. Mint, for all its precision, occasionally produces coins with striking errors, double dies, off-center strikes, and wrong planchets. These rare anomalies can turn an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. In 1979, some Washington quarters were struck with such errors. One of the more well-known varieties is the double die obverse, where the lettering or numbers on the front of the coin appear doubled. These are not easy to spot but can be worth serious money. Then there's the matter of full strikes. Collectors search for coins with fully defined details, like sharp features in Washington's hair or clean feather lines on the eagle's wings. These small details can significantly increase a coin's value. Even the luster of a coin, that shine you see when it catches the light, matters. A bright, untouched surface free from marks or scratches means the coin has likely never been circulated. That makes it far more desirable to collectors. Many high-grade 1979 quarters were preserved unintentionally. Some were pulled from bankrolls right after being minted, others were stashed away by collectors or simply forgotten in drawers and collections for decades. The coins minted in San Francisco were part of proof sets and are usually better struck than regular circulation coins. While proof coins are more common in high quality, some error or special strike versions have emerged that fetch premium prices. What's remarkable is how everyday people still find these quarters. Someone cleaning out a family estate. A curious teenager going through a jar of coins. A coin roll hunter searching through hundreds of quarters for that one magical find. The thrill of discovery is what makes coin collecting so addictive. It's the chance that something sitting quietly in your house, something you've seen 1,000 times, could actually be a hidden gem worth thousands of dollars. For some collectors, it's about completing a registry set, a collection of the highest grade examples of each year and mint mark. Owning the best-known 1979 quarter could mean owning a one-of-a-kind piece of American history. Over the years, the demand for Washington quarters has only grown. As more people become interested in coin collecting, the competition for top specimens has intensified, driving prices to new heights. Coin shows, online auctions, and grading services continue to uncover stunning examples from the 1979 series, and every time one of these rare quarters comes to light, the buzz in the collecting community is electric. Even if you're not a serious collector, it's worth taking a closer look at your pocket change. The date 1979 might not jump out at you, but if the coin shines, looks crisp, or has something unusual about it, take notice. Carefully inspect it under a magnifying glass. Look for clean edges, sharp details, and any oddities in the lettering. If you find something interesting, consider sending it to a grading service to be professionally evaluated. Sometimes it's not even about what's visible to the naked eye. Subtle differences in strike quality or planchet issues can dramatically affect value once experts take a closer look. Amazing to think that a single coin from 1979, a year that seems not so long ago, can now be worth thousands of dollars simply because it was preserved in perfect condition or struck in a rare way. And among the many 1979 Washington quarters minted, one stood out so significantly in quality and rarity that it captured the attention of top collectors around the world. This coin, certified at an exceptional grade, flawless in every detail, shimmering with mint luster and preserved as though time stood still, was sold at auction for an unbelievable $104,000. Top 4. We're diving into the fascinating story of the 1986 Washington quarter dollar from the United States of America, a coin you might think is common, but you might be surprised at what it's truly worth. When you hear quarter dollar, your mind probably jumps straight to vending machines or parking meters. But in the hands of collectors and numismatists, quarters can tell powerful stories and, in rare cases, hold significant value. The 1986 Washington quarter is a perfect example. Minted nearly 4 decades ago, this coin has circulated widely across the U.S. But not every 1986 quarter is created equal. Some have become the hidden gems of the coin collecting world. And believe it or not, one of these has fetched a jaw-dropping amount. We'll reveal that exact figure near the end, so stick around. First, let's talk history. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932, commemorating the 200th birthday of George Washington. Originally meant to be a one-year commemorative coin, its design proved so popular that it stuck, becoming a permanent part of American currency. Fast forward to 1986, Ronald Reagan was president. The Statue of Liberty turned 100, and Top Gun hit theaters. In the same year, millions of Washington quarters were struck at the U.S. mints in Philadelphia and Denver. These coins were meant for everyday use, but something remarkable happened. Collectors started to notice that not all 1986 quarters were the same. Some bore minting errors. Others had pristine, untouched finishes. And a few were struck with such precision and detail, they stood out from the crowd like diamonds in the rough. Coins from this era were made of a copper-nickel-clad composition. While silver quarters had disappeared from circulation 2 decades earlier, the allure of the Washington quarter never faded. For the trained eye, even a modern coin could hold secrets and value. Let's look closer at the obverse side, that's the front. George Washington's iconic profile dominates the center, designed by John Flanagan. Around the rim, the words "Liberty, in God We Trust," and the year 1986 frame the portrait. On the reverse, the eagle sits proudly with its wings spread, arrows in its talons, symbolizing strength and readiness. The design feels timeless, yet subtle differences can make or break a coin's worth to collectors. Now here's where things get really interesting. Condition is everything. A circulated quarter from 1986 is generally worth only face value. But an uncirculated one, especially a flawless example, can be worth far more than 25 cents. Coins are graded on a scale called the Sheldon scale, ranging from 1 to 70. A Washington quarter from 1986 graded MS-65 or higher, that's mint state, can already begin to command a premium. But the real magic happens when the grade approaches perfection. The most valuable coins are often those graded MS-67 or MS-68. Only a tiny fraction of 1986 quarters reach these elite levels. Their sharp details, lack of wear, and brilliant luster make them stand out at auctions and in private collections, but there's another factor to consider: mint errors. Some 1986 quarters have rare flaws that occurred during production. These could include off-center strikes, double dies, or even coins struck on the wrong planchet, the metal disc used to make coins. One famous example includes a 1986 quarter with a dramatic off-center strike, where only part of the design appears on the coin. These pieces are often unique, and collectors will pay a premium for them due to their rarity. Die varieties are another point of interest. These occur when subtle changes in the coin die result in variations in the design. Some die varieties are so scarce, they only appear a handful of times on the open market. These rare combinations of condition, mint errors, and die varieties that can transform a humble quarter into a highly prized collectible. And when one of these coins appears, it can spark bidding wars among collectors. Auctions are where the real excitement happens. Some 1986 quarters, especially those certified by grading companies like PCGS or NGC, have gone under the hammer for impressive sums. But there's one sale that truly stands above the rest. This particular quarter wasn't just mint condition, it was nearly flawless. Its surfaces gleamed. The strike was razor sharp. And most importantly, it had a rare mint error that made it one of a kind. Collectors from around the world took notice. As the auction date approached, speculation swirled. Could this be the most valuable 1986 quarter ever discovered? The excitement was palpable. When the bidding started, it escalated quickly. Enthusiasts, dealers, and collectors all threw their hats into the ring. But as the numbers climbed higher, the crowd began to realize they were witnessing history. The final bid stunned everyone. When the hammer fell, the gavel marked not just the sale of a coin, but a moment that would be remembered in numismatic history. A simple quarter, dated 1986, had become a legend. So how much did it sell for? Let's build up the anticipation just a bit more. Because this wasn't just a rare quarter. This was a statement, proof that even modern coins could achieve astronomical values if the right conditions aligned. Imagine having this coin tucked away in a drawer or forgotten in a jar. It's a reminder that treasures can sometimes be hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right eyes to discover them. Now, let's finally reveal the number you've all been waiting for. That spectacular 1986 Washington quarter, struck perfectly, graded at the highest level, and featuring a unique error, was sold for a total of $74,000. Yes, you heard that right. A coin you might have once used to buy a soda is now worth $74,000 in the world of collectors. It's a jaw-dropping amount, and it's 100% real. This story isn't just about money, it's about history, rarity, and passion. It's a reminder that sometimes, ordinary things can have extraordinary value. And in the world of coin collecting, surprises like this are always possible. So next time you're holding a handful of change, take a closer look. Check the dates. Inspect the condition. Who knows? You might be holding the next $74,000 treasure in your hand. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. There are so many stories hidden in the coins we use every day, and we're just getting started. Keep collecting, keep searching, and keep the curiosity alive. Top 5. Have you ever looked closely at the coins sitting in your pocket, tossed in a jar, or lying under the couch cushions? Sometimes, the most ordinary-looking coins can hide incredible secrets. And today, we're going to explore one of those, the 1998 Washington quarter dollar from the United States. At first glance, the 1998 quarter might not stand out. It's modern, it's familiar, and it's easy to overlook. But what if I told you that one of these seemingly common coins has fetched a massive sum of money at auction? It's true, and the story behind it is even more fascinating. Let's rewind for a moment and talk about the history behind this iconic coin. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Over the decades, it became a staple of American currency. Even as designs changed and minting technologies improved, the classic image of George Washington on the obverse of the coin remained a symbol of trust and tradition in American money. By the time 1998 rolled around, the Washington quarter had already become one of the most recognized coins in circulation. The year 1998 is especially interesting because it marked the final year before a huge change. In 1999, the U.S. Mint introduced the 50-State Quarters program, a series that would celebrate each of the 50 states with unique reverse designs. But in 1998, the coin still featured the traditional heraldic eagle on the reverse. So, the 1998 Washington quarter stands at a historic crossroads. It's the last of its kind before the start of a new era. That detail alone has already made it a point of interest among collectors. But it's not just the design that makes this coin valuable. Let's take a look at the design elements. The obverse still carries the classic John Flanagan portrait of George Washington, bold, stoic, and centered. You'll find the words Liberty above, In God We Trust to the left, and the date, 1998, right beneath Washington's chin. Flip the coin over, and you'll see the majestic eagle on the reverse. Its wings are spread in confidence, perched on a bundle of arrows with 2 olive branches below. It's a design steeped in meaning, strength balanced by peace, tradition standing firm, but not all 1998 quarters are identical. In fact, some were minted with slight variations, subtle errors, or features that make them extremely rare. And that's where things start to get exciting. There were 2 primary mint locations for the 1998 Washington quarter, Philadelphia and Denver. You can identify the mint by the small letter just to the right of Washington's ponytail. A P stands for Philadelphia, while a D represents Denver. Some of the most desirable quarters from this year come from these 2 mints, but with rare errors or exceptionally high-grade conditions. And it's in these tiny differences that big value can be found. One example is a 1998 quarter struck off-center. These coins are missing part of their design because they were not properly aligned during minting. Though technically a mistake, these errors are incredibly appealing to collectors because of their rarity. There are also double die errors, coins where the design was stamped twice, creating a ghostly, duplicated effect. If you've ever seen one, it's almost like the letters and numbers are echoing. These coins are a collector's dream when discovered in mint condition. Beyond mint errors, grading plays a major role in value. Most of the coins you'll find in change are circulated, scratched, worn, and handled countless times. But uncirculated coins, especially those graded MS65 or higher, start to climb in value quickly. Now, an MS65 grade might sound technical, but here's the simple version. It means the coin is in nearly perfect condition. Little to no wear, sharp detail, and a glossy shine. These coins are incredibly hard to find because they've never been used. To make it even more rare, a 1998 quarter that has both a mint error and a high grade becomes something entirely different, a unicorn in the world of coins. These combinations are what catch the eyes of serious collectors and auction houses alike, but the story doesn't stop there. Some quarters from 1998 were struck on the wrong metal blanks, a minting mistake that results in a coin that looks slightly off in color or weight. These are called wrong Planchet errors, and they're extremely rare. There are even examples of 1998 quarters being struck on nickel blanks, creating a coin that is lighter and smaller than usual. These oddities often pass unnoticed by the average person, but to the trained eye, they're gold, figuratively, and almost literally. Let's not forget about proof coins. These are special coins made for collectors with polished dies and special treatments that give them mirror-like surfaces. A 1998 proof quarter in perfect condition can already carry a premium, even without any errors, but combine a rare error with a perfect condition grade and a special strike, and you've got something truly special. One such coin shocked everyone when it appeared at auction and defied all expectations. The coin was flawless in detail, with every feather on the eagle and every line on Washington's face standing out like it was minted yesterday. But what made it even more incredible was a mint error so rare, only a few exist. As the coin made its way to auction, collectors and dealers alike began buzzing. This wasn't just a high-grade coin, this was a one-of-a-kind specimen. It represented everything collectors dream of: rarity, history, condition, and story. when the bidding began, no one expected it to go as high as it did. But as coin enthusiasts fought to claim this treasure, the price climbed higher and higher, and when the final gavel hit the podium, the room was stunned. This 1998 Washington quarter, overlooked by so many for so long, had now taken its place among legendary coins. Its price? Well, let's not rush, because what you're about to hear might just change how you see the coins in your own collection. Think about it, one single coin, struck in a year most people don't even think about, now commanding attention and respect in the numismatic world. It reminds us that sometimes, the greatest treasures are right in front of us.so now, after everything we've uncovered, the history, the design, the minting, the errors, the grading, and the rarity. It's time to reveal the most unbelievable part of this story, that rare and beautiful 1998 Washington quarter dollar, featuring an extraordinary minting error, certified at an elite level of preservation, sold at auction for a breathtaking total of $44,000. Yes, you heard that. Right. A coin that once could have bought a pack of gum is now worth $44,000. It's the kind of story that proves how thrilling and surprising the world of coin collecting can truly be, and who knows, maybe the next valuable coin is sitting right there in your own pocket. So keep your eyes open, check those dates, and always look twice before you spend that change. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into the story behind one incredible coin, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. There's a whole world of hidden treasures still waiting to be discovered. Until next time, happy collecting!